Ed Fields here along with Rogan Smith and Kendrick Williams. And Kendrick, I like a watermelon or a cherry lollipop.
Blow pop.
No, lollipop.
I told him I found this in my bag.
She find it in her bag.
But I have another one, but it's
Can you find another one? I love butterscotch. I love
I've
the
never
scotch.
tasted it before. My friend Thea gave me this today, so you can have it.
Yeah, I like that. I like
Yeah.
butterscotch.
So it's okay
More
if
so than anything else, I love to be offered things. I'm needy. That's what my child tells me. I'm needy.
Yeah,
I'm
you
needy.
are needy. Oh
I don't
my
care,
God.
but I don't
She
care.
hit the nail on
I
the
don't
head.
care. That's
My
what I am.
goes.
Yes,
You
good.
are needy.
Yeah, and so
Is
what?
that a Libra thing?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's needy, and I like being needy.
Oh, you needy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to throw it?
Yeah, you can throw it, and then you want to say yeah.
Can you? Does it sound? Okay. Kendrick's so dignified. Look here.
No, he's not dignified. He's just trying to show it.
Look here.
Thank you.
Is it?
But hold on, let me say something.
Okay.
This ain't a blow pop.
They don't make butterscotch blow.
I was
pop.
kind of a little worried that it wasn't a blow pop.
It's from Barbados or something. Taste it. See how it tastes. What's the name on it? Look, but blow pop.
Look at
don't-
this man.
You want?
Now you see how Kendrick breaks off laughing.
Hey, I set
It's a
this one
disgrace.
down, right?
You know
And
how?
it's still
Let me tell
bigger
you.
than that
Let me
one.
tell you. You know,
That's for a 2-year-old.
Kendrick. You know what this is? This is like the blow in the pop. Like you need to put the the lollipop around this.
Over it. Taste it. Give me my little blow pop then. Tell me how it tastes.
This is not a blow pop.
Well, taste the lollipop. Oh my God, you bit right into it? So that's it. How it tastes?
Like butterscotch.
Well, that's good. Boy, these people are so ungrateful.
Kendrick breaks off laughing, man.
It was small, but it was just like freshen up your breath or something.
All right,
If
bad breath.
I have this like this, no, you don't have bad breath. If I have it like this,
That's
does
why
it
your
sound
tongue
bad?
green.
Does it sound bad?
Not like that.
Okay, because I don't.
I'm sure it doesn't sound bad as me crunching on the candy. I don't suck candy. I
No?
chew candy all the time.
Oh no, I don't like to do it. Well, anyway, I won't say it. I was gonna say that just now.
You want
That's
to say
gonna
you
come
like to
out-
suck?
I was gonna come out the wrong way.
You like to suck candy?
I like the candy to melt down.
Okay.
Oh, I got to say a shout out to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Some folks from the Medi Center Dental Office. These are my people. This is with Dr. Derwin Monroe, Dorothea, and my girl Granice. Saying my shout out. They listen to the show all the time and give such great feedback. We really
Did
appreciate
you get free
all.
medical care for saying that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Maybe
I'd like
next
to
time.
see a receipt,
Maybe
please.
next time.
See,
I
I-
don't
we-
have-
we-
I
listen.
didn't, they didn't give me any free medical care for
we
I love these people.
We adhere to the highest ethical standards, Kendrick. And as you know, I control the show. As you know.
You control the show?
And when I
didn't get
hear
that. See that
someone
it's Ed Feels Alive.
when I hear someone say a shout out to a commercial entity, what we require,
These
and we just
folks-
want these folks to know
These
this.
folks are our listeners.
Please send to rogan@edfieldslive.com
Uh-huh.
the receipt.
What did they send me?
Because I knew you
receipt
wasn't
for?
just passing through.
They didn't.
Were
I
you
don't
at the
have a
medical
receipt.
center?
I've been there.
Wait, were
I
you
go
there when they told you about?
I saw the person. I told you. I met one of the girls inside of the food store. This
Oh,
was
in the
Monday
food
night
store,
after the
okay.
show.
All right, okay. All right.
And she told me that you had mentioned while I was away that I wasn't coming back or something along those lines.
This the same people?
Yeah.
So that's when she commented on the show.
She always comments on the show, but that's when she mentioned.
Okay.
that's
It wasn't
one of
that
the
when you went to them for services that they commented.
They do when I go for the services
Okay.
as
Well,
well.
just bring the
but
receipts.
it's there are no receipts.
There has to be receipts
Why? There are no receipts.
because it's
I didn't
unethical
get
to be
any
getting free
service.
services.
I didn't get any free service.
But let me
I
add
didn't
the
get any
proviso.
service.
Let me add the
What's that?
proviso, and I'm going to qualify this because I don't know
love
what
these
kind of
folks.
I don't know what kind of doctor this. What is it?
These are
What?
dentists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, see, I was going to qualify because I didn't know it was
And
a
hygienists.
woman doctor. Because
No, it's a male
let me tell you
doctor.
about the adherence to this code.
You're
The
such-
adherence to this code is
This code only
you
for
don't have to
VA.
bring the receipt
Uh-huh.
if I also can go there and give them a
I
shout
didn't
out.
get any free service. When I go for services, I pay for it.
Okay. Well, then again, we'll bring receipts. Now, and you know, y'all women keep receipts in your bag forever.
I
so-
do. I just had to toss a bunch of them on the weekend.
Were you here when we were talking about this with Candy the other day? Oh, that was with Erica.
I could find like 5 receipts
No,
in
we
my
know,
bag
we
right
know,
now.
and we know, and then and we what we were
Minimum.
saying what we were saying is that you probably have a receipt from Super Value,
Yeah.
and when you go in there,
Quality.
you will find quality. They'll have the little bit, what do you call it? The little cart, you know, the little
Yeah.
thing,
That's super value.
and that cart logo, that'll be black. But you had the receipt so long,
Everything
the numbers
faded
done fade out. You have one in there, check it out.
Hold
It's
on.
like, let's make a deal.
Hold on, let me see that. What you gonna give me if I have one? No,
I will
but
give you back your little
I
punky
don't wanna even
lollipop.
eat that. But
No.
no, this one will be fresh though because
Okay,
I
all
just
right.
did this on
But
Monday.
you might have some old ones. So, Kendrick, everything's good? Okay, good.
How are you?
No, I'm good. And yourself, Rogan Smith?
Good, man.
There's a lot of
now.
things going on, a lot of stuff going on. You know, I let me ask you this question. Oh, I didn't bring the whole paper. But let me ask you this question. Do you feel that there are a lot of things, and I'm not going to, this isn't a media thing, okay? This is not a media thing. And you really see it on Facebook more so than anything else. But that people are quick to comment on things they know nothing about?
Give me a
Or a little
give
about?
Me, give me. No, I'm not going to answer that general question.
The word
so
I
give me
suppose
the
would be
specific.
speculative. That there's a lot of conjecture and speculation on just
regarding-
things.
You see, I'm
No, just
reluctant-
general.
No,
I'm
no,
just being general. Let me rephrase that.
I think people are quick to comment on things that affect them, that impact them.
Right, but what I'm saying, and we all a lot of things
and
impact
that
us.
leads
But
to a
I'm
lot of
saying,
speculation.
okay, see, so that's a bad,
At
and
times.
so that there may be a lot of misinformed opinion. You could add at times if you want.
At times.
Okay.
At times.
I think it's at a lot of times.
At times.
Yeah.
So let's go into the specifics.
Well, just no. I'm being. One of the things I'm doing, Rogan. I'm looking. This is not just the Bahamas, but this is just general. This is not the Bahamas, but in general, I'm trying to see issues and not immediately react to a position, no matter where it comes from, right? Because I start from a place of not knowing. The only thing I know is what I'm reading. I'm not involved in the deal. I'm not engaged in the room when the deal is happening. None of these things that we read about, we know. So we only can go by what we read. So and I'm not saying that those things are inaccurate. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that I don't wish to just follow the line and assume that everything that's being put in front of me is the way it is.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people, and one of the things I see a lot of people do is go to the obvious. They just go to the emotional side of it
That's very easy to
really
do.
quickly.
But like I said, I think if I'm directly impacted by something, then that's a natural default position for me to get emotional about it. So it depends.
So I'll get a
on
lot
the
of flack
it-
on
it-
this. So
it
we
depends
talked about
the
this
scenario.
we talked about this off the air, and so I'm going to be very slow because I don't get engaged in the conversation online, because the other thing is, when you do make the statement I'm about to make, it is very easy to be the brunt of the emotional side of things. Okay. But at the end of the day, it always pans out. You see, I saw a thing on Facebook the other day, and I'll just say it said 800 people are about to be terminated from Atlantis, as per the Sandals scenario.
This just happened.
This
when?
just happened. I just saw a thing. It just said 800 people.
From whom? Just
Something
random
on,
person
just random.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And I said, do you respond? Do you not respond? But and it said, it gave a definitive date, like 2 weeks. Right?
No, maybe they were just joking, like like when you say, "Oh, this happened," so in
It
2
wasn't a
weeks,
joke.
expect this to
No,
happen.
it wasn't a joke. It wasn't a joke. It was a statement. It was a statement.
Someone said,
Yeah. Let me
"I
find
have
it.
information that in 2 weeks
Let me find
Atlantis
it.
is going to let 800 people go."
Let me see if I can find the statement.
Because I think you need to specify how it was said, so I can see
okay,
if
I
the
can
person
read
may
it
have
out.
been joking.
Okay, I can read it.
You found it?
I'm going to read it exactly what
Okay.
it says. In just 2 weeks, Atlantis will terminate 800 employees. Perry Christie probably knows this, but he's powerless to stop it. Christie has set the trend with the outrageous concessions he gave to the Chinese for the Point and Baha Mar. So, first of all, it doesn't really flow for me, but the point is, this is not a joking statement. It's a statement. It's a statement that,
But
no.
I have. Hold on. Let me come over there and see who it's from. See, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't,
you can see who it's from. Come, I
Let
don't
me
mind.
see.
I'm not going to read it, but I'm just
No, that's
saying.
fine.
Yeah, the person had a name and everything. Okay. So
my
no, the
God.
point I'm making is,
Oh my God.
no, but hold on.
So you see, the messenger is important.
No,
Hold
but
on.
here what I'm saying, there are enough people. There are enough people who it doesn't. There's always someone who believes a messenger. Okay. There's always enough people who will believe a person.
And people who have sense know better.
Right, but there are a lot of
Okay.
people. Well, I'm not going to say that.
Well, people who follow that individual
Mm-hmm.
know that that individual is known for mouthing off and
Right.
and spewing misinformation.
Right, but the reason why I say I'm not responding is because to show you, that's why you set back, right? Because if you say in 2 weeks, well, I mean, a month go by and it doesn't happen, then that kind of kills itself. But the point is, there are people who may be panicked by it. There are people who don't know the individual, who don't know who he is or know what he says. I've never heard of this person.
I can't account for gullible folks who just go if I don't know Kendrick Williams and he just posts something there. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
anything about him and he posts that. I'm not likely to take that seriously. Now, if somebody who I respect or somebody who I know is in the know posts it, then I'll take that a little bit
But
more
guess what?
seriously.
That person could also be wrong. The point I'm making is
Just
that
someone who is in
there-
the know. So if you posted it,
Right, but I'm just saying there are people, all I'm saying, Rogan, is that there are people who are making statements across the board. There are people in politics, there are people in unions, there are people in all sorts of spheres who make statements, and there's enough of a constituency that they have who believe them, who buy into it. And people have to respond.
that is correct.
Okay? Now, this is what I'm going to say about the situation with the power. Okay. So yes, number one, I have a generator. So we can now, that's disclosure. That's what you call disclosure.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, that's a
And-
cost.
and
Excuse
I
me.
don't
Excuse
have
me.
one.
Excuse me.
And I
First
don't
of
have one.
yeah. First of all, that's a cost. Okay. That's a cost. Okay. That's not just a luxury. That's a cost. There's fuel that I shouldn't have to be paying for. There's maintenance that I shouldn't have to be paying for. It goes faulty. I've had situations where it goes faulty. So let's disclose it. All of the businesses in this town, almost every single business in this town has a generator. That's a cost to them in terms of maintenance. It shouldn't be. If you go to South Florida, that is a cost that hotels are not incurring or businesses are not incurring. Let me give you an example. When we had Hurricane, I forget what hurricane it was, okay? It's just very disconcerting, Rogan.
Well,
It's because we're having a conversation. You see what I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But you do
It's-
this to me all the time when I'm
Okay,
talking.
all right.
So now you got
It's
to
just
dose of your own
okay,
I'm
good,
not trying
okay.
to do it. Somebody
Okay,
said something
okay,
important
okay.
to me just now.
Okay.
I'm not
Well,
intentionally trying to do
no
that.
problem. When we had a hurricane in Florida recently, they had to literally move to Nassau because we had generators, because they didn't have generators over in Fort Lauderdale. The point I'm making is we have this level of impatience that the problem or the solution to the problem is often missed, or the persons causing the problem to happen are often missed. Now, I've been
Can I say something before you
Yeah,
go
yeah.
on your monologue? Yes, you have a generator, and that is a cost to you. You're blessed enough to be able to afford that cost. There are people in this country who can't afford that cost. Don't interrupt, please.
Well, you interrupted me, so
I interrupted you.
You said, "Can I interrupt before I go into my?"
months,
Yeah.
6 minutes into your speech.
Okay, so I only got 6
So
minutes.
yes, it's a cost to you and it's maintenance to you, but there are people who can't afford a generator to begin with, and they don't have the money to pay for maintenance. They are directly impacted. I'm one of those
I'm
individuals.
not making that point. That's not the point
No,
I'm making.
The point I'm seeking to make to you is you're talking about, can we not be patient?
No, that is not what I'm going to talk about. That's what you're assuming I'm going to
Hold
talk
on.
about.
Were you not saying to me off air about we don't have patience in this country? Did
No,
you not
I
say
said,
that to me?
what I said was this, please. I said that what we do is we take our lack of patience because of something that's impacting us, and instead of channeling it in the right direction, we often channel it in the wrong direction. That's what I'm
what's the
talking
right
about.
direction?
So here's what I'm saying to you.
Because I'm curious.
Here's what I'm saying to you. If I buy a house from you, okay, and the roof has a hole in it, and I've used this analogy before, and the roof has a hole in it, And because of the what do you call it, the closing process, I cannot get the house. I know the house had a hole, and I intended to buy the house. I'm just making an analogy. This isn't a fact. Well, if you dismiss it, then we don't have to have a discussion with it.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I say you're making it cumbersome, but go ahead.
Well, you see what I'm talking about? That no one wants to hear the argument. They don't want to hear the discussion.
Continue.
So you have a hole in the roof. You know that the rainy season is coming in June. So you want to try to close the deal in March so that you have enough funding, enough time to patch the roof before the rainy season comes. But because of process, lawyers and courts and this and red, okay, you don't get the house until July, in the middle of the rainy season. The rain comes, the roof leaks. You don't have enough funding to even buy a tarp, okay, to put on the roof temporarily. So the roof leaks. So finally you scrap up some dollars, okay, and you put the tarp over the roof, okay? The roof continues to leak a little bit, not so much, but it continues to leak a little bit. And then finally you get some money so you can fix the roof permanently so that you don't have any leaks. Now, that's a process.
Except I'm the person living in the house. I didn't buy this house. That's
no, I'm saying you bought it. At the point I'm making,
but
I said that.
It's a false analogy because I didn't buy the house. In this situation, Bahamians are. Why are you doing that?
No, I'm not. I'm analyzing what you're saying.
I'm saying you're referring to BPL and the challenges that they have, correct?
Yes.
And what they inherited.
But they also live in the house where the lights are going off. So, and the point I'm making is, when you buy your house, you're also living in the house. And I imagine that there are people who would have purchased the thing that they're also being impacted by the cuts. All I'm saying is this, Rogan, is, do we care that do you think that it's just a point of discussion. Because I don't know. I don't have the inside knowledge, okay? I'm just saying that when BTC took over the phone company, okay, we were, for many, I think probably years, I don't know, for years we were getting dropped calls, et cetera, and there was a process, okay? And eventually, I don't know, to be quite frank, either the last time that I could complain that the phone dropped a call. I mean, I don't recall it, except when you're going past Cable Beach. So it now, having said that, 57 years.
I can more live with a dropped call than my electricity being off. You can roll your eyes.
No.
I'm telling you, there's a difference between the two.
Well, you remember when the call went, and you remember when the calls went down, and the whole business community couldn't function.
That's not a drop call. That was a crashing of the system or whatever. At one point they even thought it was sabotage. That's totally different from dropped calls. That's totally different.
The point I'm making is, no matter what it is, it requires time to correct. And all I'm saying to you, this is the principle. It's just like the roads. Let's use the roads as an example. We wanted the roads fixed. If you were coming from east, you wanted a double lane road. That impacted all of us every day. Every single day when we were driving, the traffic was more horrendous than prior to the roads being fixed. It required a process.
Yes.
Once the process was completed, then there was ease. It impacted every single person. No one have a generator for road.
Okay, but the fact
I don't have a helicopter.
We saw the end of the end of the tunnel. We saw the light at the end of the tunnel with that road work.
No pun intended,
we don't
of course.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't see that light at the end of the tunnel for this electricity
Well, it's because you don't. You know why? Because
and it's gone on
unfortunately,
for years and years and
No,
years.
but
So that's
hold-
why people's frustrations
we
are
got
compounded.
we're in the south, so we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
How convenient.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ed Fields here. I'm the unempathetic one, because and I just readily disclose it. See, this is why Kendrick.
You disclosed it before I brought it up.
No. Excuse me. This is why Kendrick. You see what I said to you about the brunt. You see, you cannot even make an attempt unless you just want to side on the rabble. No, let me rephrase that. That's not right. On the popular position. If you don't side on the popular position, then you're the problem. You're unempathetic. You're not the problem. You're unempathetic. I'm just saying you're unempathetic unless you go on the side of the general feel. No, well, that's the impression.
But you know what? You can't empathize when you don't suffer through
certain
things.
I can't empathize.
You
I have an aunt. Listen to me. I have an aunt who is sick, who is bedridden. She does not have a generator. Don't let's get personal, because I can get personal. I have an aunt who has round the clock daycare and what do you call it, nursing care, who doesn't have a generator, who has to deal with that. I have family who has to deal with that. I have lots of friends and family who have to deal with this. So don't say you can't be empathetic. People can be empathetic without being in the scenario.
No, they have to be. You're sympathetic, but you're not empathetic because you're not in it.
Any kind of pathetic you want.
You're sympathetic.
Okay?
You sympathize with them as they're going through it, but you're not going through it personally.
Right. I didn't say I was going through it personally. I never made that statement.
You just said you can be empathetic without
sorry,
going through it.
Excuse my language. Excuse me on the pedantics of it. I can be sympathetic. Okay? But now correct that if I'm wrong. If I'm okay on the sympathetic?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I want to make sure I check off with you now. Okay? Because it ain't never right. So what I'm saying is to you is that one can be sympathetic, but that doesn't mean, Kendrick, that one cannot have an opinion that might be accurate, okay? Whether the lights are going on, listen, you want to talk about, how about things getting damaged? I got stuff that gets damaged,
As do I.
okay? Mm-hmm. So can I be empathetic with that? So the reality is I get stuff that gets damaged by brownouts and power surges and all sorts of things. Mm-hmm. The doggone generator switch got messed up with the power surge. Okay, that's empathy there, where things impact me. The point is, I have business which are damaged or caused loss of income as a result of power cuts. So there's a whole range of things. Okay, I got a car accident because a traffic light was off. That's empathy. There's all sorts of ranges other than just your light being off. So the point I'm making, though, is it possible, and this is a side argument, is it not possible to have a discussion about finding out what is really happening as opposed to just being targeting a particular group of people as the problem?
Let me tell you something.
I'm just asking.
Let me say this to you. Ain't nobody about to go get deep about the underlying factors involved. All I know is my electricity is off, and these are the people who are responsible. This is the basics, okay? I'm not going to get into what has the government tied BPL's hands and all that stuff. Okay, fine. That's a valid argument. But my point is, I see my light off, and these people are responsible for keeping my light on. That is the end of it.
Okay. So,
and let me say this too. I'm not one of those people who likes to just get riled up for nothing. And I can't stand people just are chronic complainers. But I think in this instance, with people having to tolerate the heat outside and coming home every single day like I do to my lights being off, it's a problem. And they have valid reasons and valid concerns for being upset.
Oh, Lord. I don't think I said, hey, by the way, everybody, let's not be upset. I don't think I said that. Now, I'm going to ask to finish the comment. What I think I said is, can we, while we are certainly unhappy, while we are upset, while we are not desirous of continued power cuts, etc., can we not universally and carte blanche say, and that particular person who happens to be heading that particular organization is at fault after 4 months after having inherited a scenario? I don't know, I'm 57, inherited something that was in the position it was for 60-something years. That's all I'm saying. It's just a simple discussion. It's not, please, everyone, be happy with your heat. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the vitriol that are aimed at particular individuals. Is that helpful?
I don't know that.
Well, I've seen it.
I don't see them making anything at particular individuals.
Check your Facebook page.
I have checked my Facebook page, but perhaps because I removed a lot of negative people,
it
ain't on there.
There you go. Okay.
I've seen a lot targeted towards the company itself, not particular individuals.
Okie dokie. What else is new?
After you damn riled
No, I
me
said
up.
okay. No, but you rile up. You just get riled up in a sec, so it don't matter.
You get riled up too, buddy. Don't act like you so calm up in here.
She's riled up now.
I match your anger.
She riled up now. She riled up now. Just on me saying rile up. Anyway, now you have the situation. You have the situation. Our guest is Ace Newbold. He's going to be joining us, and we can talk about this and stuff as well. Listen, and again, BPL is an example, but it'll be something else. You see, it'll be something else. I'm saying I've been in scenarios long enough to know that what happens is in our angst, and you can correct me if that's the right word or not, to emote, to be emotional, we often target the wrong thing. And targeting that thing actually doesn't create a solution. So that's just my little thing on that. But of course, this will be described as I'm not empathetic because Rogan says I'm not empathetic. Or sympathetic.
Okay.
So we'll be back. We got the news, and then we'll be right back. Yeah, I'm just doing the thing. Yeah, but I wasn't engaged in a conversation.
Were you doing it to get back at me?
No, I was actually checking an email, and I hadn't gone on yet. The music was still going. I have it in my ear, so relax yourself.
Can I say something?
No, you can't. So,
I'm
good
gonna say
evening,
it
ladies
anyway.
and gentlemen.
I'm
Ed
gonna say it
Fields
anyway.
here
You do that
along
to me
with
all the time.
Rogan Smith
Okay,
and
fine, I
Ken
get you back.
Williams. Yeah, get me
I'm gonna
back.
get you
You're going to get me back. But I
Yeah,
thought, now
you're
you
dead petty.
want to play that game?
I on Team Petty.
You want to play that
Okay,
game?
done. I finished talking to you.
Yeah, eat your blow pop. Anyway, so
Hey,
yeah, how you doing, Ace?
it's another
You're
day
not on
on
yet.
Shirley
You're
Street.
not on yet.
I'm not on.
No,
yet.
you're not on
okay.
yet.
No
Okay.
problem.
You see how rude he is?
Rude.
Get on
We
Team
good.
Petty.
We
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Okay. Well, what else are you gonna say? Do a sign saying you're not on yet? Okay. So Kendrick, welcome back, Kendrick, and our co-host Rogan Smith is here, and we have a guest this afternoon. His name is Anthony Ace Newbold. He's the president of the Bahamas Press Club, which Rogan and I are members of.
Hey.
And
Great
he's
news.
also from what that place called up the road.
The Big Z, man. The
Is it-
Broadcasting Corporation.
It's Z, but it's ZNS.
ZNS.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me go to my lexicon expert over here. Excuse me, Madam Smith. Is it Z is the English saying or Z? Which one is it?
Z is English, my friend.
Okay. All right. Well, see, she didn't answer.
Yeah,
she got
she-
petty.
you're all on
Yeah, she
this.
got into petty.
She
But see,
on-
I don't get like that. She's got like that. Petty. It's like she's 4. How old are you? 4?
3.
Okay. So let me talk to an adult then. Ace, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Another day,
Yeah.
busy. You know about that.
You got another 15 minutes today. You know, you always complain that we don't have him for the.
I want an hour and a half, man.
Yeah, well, too bad.
Hey, listen.
That's
A
your
lot
problem.
of people
Hey,
want a lot
you
of
want an hour and a
days.
half? Get your own show. But
Hey.
you have one. Anyway. See, I can say that to him, right?
I'm with you.
Listen, we had, by the way, we had a little nice, I went to a meeting. I don't go to meetings, Rogan Smith. I went to a club, like a
Press
club
Club.
meeting.
That was
I don't go to meetings.
Yeah,
was a good
actually, I
meeting.
was surprised to see you. But thank you for coming.
Yeah.
I didn't think you
Well,
would come.
as they say in the 4-year-old world, poop on you. Okay? All right?
I didn't
See,
think
and
you
I
were
like,
coming.
see,
Yeah,
I just
I
like
was-
when she
I-
laughed,
I was surprised, but happy that you came.
Yeah.
Happy that you came.
Well, and I even called at one point. I said I called Rogan to inquire if she was coming to the meeting. In other words, not only did I come to the meeting, I acted as a whip.
Much appreciated.
Okay.
Much
I was already
appreciated.
at the Hilton when
You
you called.
when he called,
But
right?
I had gotten there early, so I circled around to check out the landscaping. And then, yes, I did. You said you saw when I passed. You told
No,
me
I
that.
saw you when you were like on the corner coming like you would come from over the bridge.
Yeah.
And then you were gonna make that right onto.
I circled around
Shirley
and checked out the
Street.
landscape, and then I came. And I was still the second person there, third. Okay. Yeah.
Me,
And by the way,
Lindsay,
and I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. You were late. And you know what I said? Yeah, you were.
Yeah,
Yes, I
And I
was.
said,
Yes, I
to
was.
Rogan,
Yes, he
he's not
was.
late. He just wanted to arrive last.
You got me. You got me. Yeah, you got
He just wanted to
me.
make it, what do you call it?
An
An
entrance.
entrance. Yeah, yeah,
An
yeah,
entrance.
yeah.
On France,
But
yeah.
anyway, it gave me a time to go get Sour Patch and
Jelly
some
beans.
and
Some
some
jelly beans.
Pringles
and some Sprite
and soda.
Zero. Yeah.
all the
Yeah,
disgusting
yeah.
stuff.
They didn't have no patties though. That's the only problem.
You want hot patty in
I hadn't
Hilton?
eaten the whole day. But no, it was a pleasure to go out, and I think you have a very wonderful event
coming up in
coming up.
November.
Yes.
and I think it's pretty much planned. You only got
Yeah, pretty
time
much.
to-
It's now is a matter of execution, and thank you both for agreeing to host it. That is- Listen, I
because
got
we could have any
exposure.
kind of breakdown between now and then,
Yeah,
and then it's a problem.
Yeah.
She'll be petty.
I actually was thinking about that when I came in here.
We'll be co-hosts, and then she wouldn't even acknowledge me when I'm on the thing. All right. Listen, man.
myself.
No, I'm sure that won't.
She'll
that
pretend.
won't happen.
Yeah, she
don't
can
do that.
pretend.
Yeah.
So listen, I said to her, and I'm going to say what I said to you when I text you. I said to her, will you wear a dress where your bosoms are popping out? Because that's what women wear at these functions.
I'm gonna wear a tuxedo.
Okay, well there you go. So no,
So
the answer is
nothing.
no.
So everything will be under wraps. Everything.
You see what happens, Ace. We wear the tux.
Right.
It's the same thing.
And?
We wear the tux, and they could go with the whole thing, man.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
okay.
like Mount St. Helens.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, they're the fairer sex.
Yeah.
They call that for a good reason.
Yeah, I think it's the sex to be feared.
Well, that too, if you have any sense. Absolutely. But no.
You like that one, eh? You like that one.
Women should look attractive. I mean, there's
What Trump say? Trump say they can't get ahead if you're not a 10. What is with him, man?
I have no idea. Except he's running neck and neck with Hillary
No, he ain't
Clinton.
running neck and neck, Jack.
Yeah,
That's national polls. He's not going to win.
Did you watch last night?
How do you know?
Because I looked for the black areas. I looked for the black areas, Mike.
Some of them
They
probably
got
didn't
plenty
even
of
register.
votes.
They probably didn't even register
They
to
can
vote.
register.
They
They-
probably
Rich,
didn't even register to
listen,
vote. That has always been the problem in the
No,
black community.
you see how they lying around the block for Obama?
But
Yeah, that's
Obama's different from
Obama.
Hillary.
Obama's gone.
Yep.
But I'm glad you mentioned that they probably not registered
Yeah,
to vote.
a lot of them don't register.
Because again, I promise Sherlyn Hall, every time I get in the front of a microphone, I'm going to say to the Bahamian people,
Go register.
go register.
Yeah.
Because
that's a very big thing.
the amount of people registered when I saw him a couple of weeks
It's only
ago.
like 40,000.
It's embarrassing.
And what's going to happen is
They're going to regret
we're going to wait
to the last.
until we have 30 days. Then everybody
Well,
is
that's how
going to
we roll.
just, yeah, but
You
then
gotta
don't
change.
Because
criticize
you know why?
Mr.
Because then
Hall
Rogan
and
wants to
say-
have something to complain about when she
Hey,
get to the
stop
registration
saying that.
thing.
Don't blame me. I'm already registered.
Okay,
I
when
did
she
so for
you
referendum time.
see, we just finished a similar conversation now. We have problems.
We do.
We will wait until, like you say, the last
I'm not a
minute,
part of that
and then we
problem.
will then go to the wherever there is GR and Bailey or wherever you got to go register,
complain about the
and the
length of time
line
it
will be
takes.
around the block by the mall, and we can say, well, what happened?
Yeah, and why y'all moving so slow?
Slowly. Mhm.
Right? No, and you know,
This is the pace.
Yeah, well, you know, as my late father used to say, if you don't go register, the only thing you're doing is beating up your gum.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I hate to hear
just-
people complain when they had an opportunity to do
You ask him,
something.
have you registered yet? No, I ain't registered yet. I still can. I can go.
Fields, are you registered?
No, I'm not yet registered,
Oh,
but I'm
Yeah.
not
Kendrick,
complaining.
you registered?
You're not
You're not
complaining.
registered yet?
You
No,
better
I'm
go.
gonna
Ace, you're
register next
registered?
week.
Absolutely.
I'm going to
2 out of
register.
4,
No, yeah, but
50%.
okay, so bravo for y'all.
Yes, give us our
Hey,
clap.
I
But
take
here's the
it.
deal, okay? If I go to register
Ace,
and it's
he'll
I
late,
take it.
if yeah, but I know you wrote. You have a pocket piece that match your tie. What can I say?
Hey,
If you
listen.
Debonair.
If you-
Did you check
you-
my socks? No, not tonight.
No,
Not
okay,
tonight.
okay.
Listen, let's get serious
Listen,
here.
no, we're going to get serious in a sec, but on the registration thing, it is very important. You don't know when the quote unquote bell is going to ring.
No, you don't.
And if you do wait till late, don't complain. Just
Yeah.
line up and register.
Yes.
You know.
True.
All right, so we were, Ace asked me what we were going to talk about, and I said, well, let's start off in the political thing where we left off. And I don't know if you saw the post I put up there. And, I kind of invent these things. I'm going to be honest with the people. I'm not, like that organized. I kind of invent these things as they come to me. But it is appropriate because it is a conundrum. I headed it, the political conundrum. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of folks are finding themselves in this sort of quandary. Just today I was somewhere and someone said to me, they're registered. They said to me they were registered, but they don't know what the deal is.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and I'm only, I'm not going to mimic any of my personal views here at the moment, are just, there are a lot of people who are disappointed that there's not an option. Specifically, they feel that the opposition
viable option.
has not
Yeah.
given them an option at this point.
A viable option.
Yeah. A lot can happen in 6 months, though, Ace.
A lot can happen. I think, and this is attributed to the late Sir Lyndon, says the election is won 6 weeks before the election. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In politics, 24 hours is a lifetime. Mm-hmm. And just anything can happen. Mm-hmm. And
This is Hillary Clinton's biggest problem. Like 2 months is a lifetime.
True. No, anything can happen, especially on the local Bahamian political landscape. But there will be a surprise in 2017.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that surprise could be...
We don't know what it is.
As we don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. Well, the surprise could be that despite the many complaints, the PLP wins, even if only by a small margin. Yeah. The surprise could be as discombobulated and lost at sea as the F&M appears to be right now, they could still win because people could be so pissed at the government they go, no way. Or wonders of wonders.
Well, I think
the
that
DNA
the surprise,
becomes more than an irritant.
Yeah.
And they win like 3 or 4 seats.
Yeah. I think that what will happen is, this is just a prediction from the outside, and I mean that. I'm not a card-carrying member of any entity at this point.
I don't think any of us are.
No, I'm not.
Right?
That, you got to think that people who are involved in these organizations have some degree of intellect. And forget about which side, but at some point, the wiser, smarter side comes and overdoes the ego side, okay? And says, these are the possibilities. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't do X, then this is the possibility. If you do X, this is a possibility. You might be pushing it to the wire to wait to do that, but that's what you kind of believe might happen. That's what I'm thinking.
You're talking about Branville McCartney.
Well, I'm not talking about anything. I'm just saying, You're
talking about Branville McCartney and Hubert Minnis getting smart because, I just sit and I watch these people and I go, first of all right, fine. Branville McCartney, DNA. And I'm thinking, does he go back to what you said? Really intelligent, well, some intelligent people. Does he honestly believe he can get 50,000 Bahamians to vote for him? Because there's no way you will form a government of this Bahamas with less than 50,000 votes. It ain't gonna happen.
No.
So does he seriously think that? No.
Well, I think you're saying that, but I think listen, what's the boy named Gary Johnson? You saw the thing that happened this morning? Gary Johnson, who was going for Libertarian in the United States, right?
Oh. Yeah.
They asked, he was, they always think that they're going to win. They're never going to win. We know that.
He knows better.
But you know what he did this morning? They asked him, so what do you think about the situation in Aleppo? So he says, what's Aleppo?
What's Aleppo, right?
Oh, that's what he said?
Yeah. He said, what's Aleppo? And the guy had to say, Aleppo is the epicenter of the Syria.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So he finished. He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
Okay.
What did you say about 24 hours? Yeah, you got to. Come on.
Gone.
You don't know what Aleppo is.
Gone.
Come on.
Finish.
No.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's. Listen.
I didn't see that.
But
he wished a lot of other people didn't say it.
What I'm saying to you is when you get a guy, even like a Gary Johnson, who's a third-party candidate, right? Mm-hmm. They got people propping, there's people cheering them.
Sure.
And so you have to have some sort of belief that there's an outside possibility. You can't be going, there's zero possibility. You just said that Mr. McCartney has zero thought that he could get 50,000. No, he has to have some kind of inkling.
No. Yeah. He must believe that.
Yeah.
Don't say inkling, because that infers facts. No. He must believe that.
Well,
he must believe that.
The possibility exists.
And the possibility does exist. Mm-hmm. The probability is something else again.
Well, that's what we say.
Yeah, the probability is something else again. But
it's posturing as well.
Yeah, really. I mean, come on. But on the other hand, what's happening with the Free National Movement is not, that's not a warm and fuzzy feeling for anyone.
No.
Mm-hmm. On the other hand, maybe this is what Dr. Minnis needs.
No, but
he needs the exodus of these people who, by the way, all the things that people accuse him of doing to remain in power, all leaders do that. Every single one.
You said that he needs this exodus, Ace, but then he's also dealing with an unknown with a new party as well. That could spell disaster for the party as well, even if they merged. Because you're dealing with
for sure. I agree with you.
With egos from a different party.
Yeah, well, they all have egos. all of them, and that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem.
It's just where the
which will
volume is
always
on the
be
ego
there.
button.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah, which will always be there. And talking about egos and personal, a desire for personal power. If there were no egos, and that's utopia. Ego's always going to be involved. If we were talking about, I mentioned this the last time I was here, and I might have been a little too cold with it. If there were no egos and was only principle involved in politics, which is like principle and politics oxymoron, right?
No, it's an alliteration at least.
At least. The 6 people who said they can't follow Dr. Minnis, as soon as the elections were over, would say, Doc, listen. You don't
Well,
have
at least
to,
5 have.
At least 5.
4.
Listen, don't worry about me.
Yeah.
I'm not even if you offered me, I'm not accepting a nomination from you because I tell the Bahamas I can't follow you and you incompetent and you stupid and you corrupt. And if we were dealing only with principle, he wouldn't have offered it to them. But we never only dealing with principle.
Yeah.
We're dealing with the practicality of, suppose he says to them, I ain't doing nothing for y'all. And he goes in the house and they say, we ain't supporting him. We forming our own party.
Exactly.
He's no longer the leader of the opposition.
Exactly.
Look,
They become
we
on that side of the council.
I've been, Rogan can tell you, I've been knocking my head trying to analyze this situation for years now, okay? Not just in the context of the Free National Movement and the DNA and the PL, but our system. We got the thing. We'll talk about when we get back. We'll be right back. Ed Fields here along with Ace Newbold, Anthony Ace Newbold, and Rogan Smith, Kendrick Williams on the board. So we're just, talking about the political scenario. And my thing is, Anthony Newbold, is that this is the same thing, by the way, in the same theme that I was talking to Rogan about with regard to a lot of things that goes on. And again, I'm trying to be very clear here because I want people to understand what I'm saying. It is very easy to get caught up in the discussion. And that's why I don't go to like bars and things and get caught up in these discussions because it's a lot of yelling. And at the end of the day, the outcome is the outcome, right? You don't determine the outcome by going somewhere. It's kind of like sports, right? But I believe that it is better, it's almost better to sit back and observe because the posturing, this is a lot of posturing by different people who we don't influence.
Yeah.
And they know what they're doing. Well, we hope they know what they're doing. And I assume that, you have the clash of the titans. The clash of the egos will have, it's kind of like playing chicken. And at some point, someone's going to come to a realization. That's what I think.
You hope.
Well, you hope. You hope. I mean, that's all you can do.
We could go into 27 general elections with 3 major parties.
We've done it before. It's not a surprise. We did it last time.
And we will, in all probability, if we do, have a similar result.
Yeah.
Right?
Unless, of course, there's apathy. Now, the other thing that we haven't counted on, or not counted or calculated into the mix, is the level of apathy.
Right. But
there is a huge, by this time, you check Mr. Sherlin Hall. I don't know the research.
No.
Ask him how many people were registered by this time last time versus this time.
No, I'm not arguing with you on that. I saw the numbers too,
What were the numbers, by the way? Do you know?
From last time?
The same period,
I think we had about 80,000.
What is it now?
40
something thousand?
I saw the numbers. That's why I said when I came on, I promised him I'd do that. Apathy would probably help the governing party.
You know what? Normally I would say that, but let me say something. I think that people are apathetic on all sides. See, I think that, you have scenarios where you have diehards, okay? You always have that, right? Diehards. The question is, how many sides have really diehards? How many people are disenchanted? I understand that the government is polling in the single digits.
Single digits for what?
For favorability. That's what I understand.
What poll?
Some of the polls coming out of the College of the Bahamas. What's the gentleman who does the polling out of the College of the Bahamas? I'm just saying to you that that's, even if it's double digits, it ain't 60% or 70%. or 50%. So the question is how and by the way, let us not discount that from 2012 to now has been 5 years or 4 years of 5,000 people turning 18. Okay? 4 years of 5,000 people coming out of high school turning 18. Okay?
Okay.
They're now in the electorate. Okay? Do you think they care about any particular party? Do you think those kids have any allegiance or alliance to any particular party?
To any one of them?
Yeah,
I don't
know.
think so.
Not necessarily, but
I
they
don't think so. I think
they
they're
will
pissed
be influenced like everybody else is, and there are some of them who will lean towards the DNA because they into all the techie stuff,
Yeah.
and then there are people who, because of their family, would be tied to. y'all can't see what that is doing, right?
They can see it.
Yeah, who will be tied to the Progressive Liberal Party because of family.
Family, yeah.
Same thing with the FNM.
But a lot of kids today, let me tell you, I'm just going to go on a limb for the young people out there. Holla. I'm going to do that. I know that doesn't even sound young, but I'm going to say this, okay? Shout out, whatever they say, whatever they want to say. They ain't tied to no parents. They don't. The way that you would have adhered to your,
I totally
not.
agree with that.
to adhere to what your parents say. They ain't checking for that.
No, I can't say that in general terms though, because there are a lot of young people that I know who are like 19, 20, and their families are ingrained in the PLP. Like that's
Right.
all they grew up with, and they don't care. That's what they're going to be voting.
Yeah, but is that the majority of the young people
But you
now?
have a great. I can't say with any
Yeah.
certainty that it's a great deal or it's a minority because we don't have polling numbers. But I'm just saying that those people do exist out there.
I know they exist, and there are families like this, a PLP house, or this, a FNM
that's
house,
it.
the
And we're not
actual
voting
houses
anything
in
else
the
but
party.
that.
You know, where they have this, but I just think that over the years, as we've seen, that there are kids who are less adherent to what their mother or father thinks, and they're much more independently. And you know what has brought that up? They brought this up on Morning Joe this morning about how people react. And by the way, they use 2012 as the benchmark time. That pre-2012, this didn't exist the way it exists. Social media didn't exist the way it exists now. It's a whole lot of influences out there.
Yeah, so 2017 will be the election that shows us how all this thing works.
Yeah.
And the influence of social media. Again, I'm still back to whatever we say, whatever we do, unless somebody gets a reasonable amount of people into that registration booth.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
You know, and I say to people, again, we talk about it, who are saying that they are so pissed with what's going on and the government this and the government that. Go register, because otherwise it'll still be the government doing whatever.
Exactly.
I hope Anthony Newbold and Rogan Smith and Kendrick Williams that we could have a scenario this time around. And I don't know if this will happen, but I think it'll be up to people like you and Rogan, myself, and Jeff Lloyd and Juan McCartney and all of these people. It'll really be up to them. If we're going to have whatever kind of screwed up thing we're going to have, at least let's talk to the issues. I mean, I know we say that every time, but you know, I can commit to that. I have no problem. I'm not going to talk about this one.
To emotion and just
He's a sissy and this one, and who gets into that? I want to talk about, can we bring on candidates and say to them, tell me if you feel that we should be looking at tax reform as it relates to clothing and necessities. Tell me that you want to talk about how we are going to create more local government and how we're going to fund local government. Tell me you're committed to that. But
does it matter even if they are committed to it if it's not what their party leader wants? Because you could have a feeling to do this, that, and the next, but if the party doesn't want that, then what are we beating up our gums about? Or what are we discussing?
Hopefully, if you have enough people in a particular grouping who do adhere to these things, that they will have more of a capacity to move their party platform along.
Because you have a lot of forward-thinking candidates who believe in that, but it's just that they can't get their leader on board with it, and so it'll never happen, you know?
Well, yeah, that's part of it. The other part, is
holding them accountable.
Yeah, are the systems we use to govern ourselves appropriate for what we want to do? Because I'm sure a lot of, bright-eyed intellectuals and people with great policy ideas are in these particular parties. But you got to get that system to respond to whatever it is you're thinking.
But let me say this, and this is
I
where
hear
the
you about
cynicism, but this is where, this, and I'm the biggest cynic of all, but this is where you fall prey to cynicism, right? We got to start it. You got to try, right? You can't just say, okay, you know what, that isn't going to work, so let's call everyone sissy. You got to start that conversation, and then maybe we start holding these people accountable for what they said on the air and in public. That maybe it's up to us in the media to start putting those questions to these people, because I don't even know if that's what they're doing or have done.
I was going to say that.
Okay.
I agree that we start the conversation,
right?
But it has to be led by us,
right?
I mean, we have to be the ones who insist that these people who are standing for office,
right,
have something substantive to say,
right,
as opposed to just the, boilerplate. Yes, we have to lead them with the questions,
right? And when you do, to hold them accountable. And then, there's got to also be, and we talk about it all the time, hopefully, I actually think there's one linchpin in all of this.
What's that?
And that is, and we've talked about it a million times, if we get to where we start to talk about parties and holding parties committed, make them committed to holding more a primary. And the reason I bring this up all the time, Ace, is this.
You want a primary in the Bahamas?
Primarying the candidates at the constituency level. And let me tell you why I say that. And this has been discussed many times on this show, and other people have brought it up in other environments. If Ace Newbold, even if he's an incumbent, okay, knows that in the next cycle, 2022, that in the next cycle, he has to be accountable to his constituency for what he said he would accomplish, then he may work harder to show at least an effort. See, it's one thing to achieve it. It's one thing for you to say, you know what, I'm going to push to get duty-free on clothing. Use that as an example. But it's another thing that for 5 years you go and no one heard a peep out of you that you tried to say that. Whereas if you get up in the House of Assembly, if you get up on public platforms and you present that, at least your constituents can say, you know what, this guy at least made the attempt to put that in the argument, as opposed to just vanishing.
They can do it now.
Well, they can, but the point is, right now they're not. But right now, what here's the linchpin. Right now, if you're an incumbent in the Progressive Liberal Party, for instance, you have a 99.9% chance of being re-nominated.
Because the people in the constituencies
are not involved.
Yeah,
they're not involved.
Because they don't want to be involved.
Well, but the point I'm making is we have to, this is what I'm saying, we have to talk about primary. That's why I said the biggest linchpin, the biggest mover is when constituency branches have more say in their selection of candidates.
Can't they have that by just being more involved rather than having a primary system? I say, why can't they have that by just becoming more involved in their branch rather than having a primary system?
Well, I'm not talking like full-fledged like how they have in the U.S., but what I'm saying is this. If that candidate has no feeling that he is going to be challenged and that the people in his constituency will not be just blindly loyal to him, but that if someone comes along who presents a better picture and your record, Ace Newbold, as an incumbent, is dismal, then he's going to be more apt to do something. That's what happens. You see John McCain, you see these people in the Tea Party, for instance, although on the other spectrum of things, right? People who were moderates end up whacked out because they were afraid that some Tea Party nut was going to challenge them. So they started moving in that direction.
So what you're saying is put in place a formal system of primaries
at the party level. In the party level, we don't have to get complicated.
Yeah, and because human nature being what it is.
Okay, so let me explain what I mean.
No, that's all
right.
You
know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah, human nature being what it is. Yeah. No, that's all right.
Yeah. No, but I don't know.
I have an inkling of what you.
Yeah, no, but I don't know if you know what I meant per se. You know, because people, you make assumptions, right? Communication is the key. You're in the communication bee.
Presumptions.
Right? Presumption, yeah.
Human nature being what it is, You saw what happened with Hubert Minnis, Dr. Hubert Minnis, and Loretta Butler Turner. The Bahamas will never look at either one of them the same again.
I totally agree with you.
No matter what Dr.
totally
Minnis
agree with
does,
And
somebody
what does
is
that have to do
always
with what I'm saying?
Totally
with primaries.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not sure I want
I
any
think you're
primaries.
spot on with that.
No. I want
Listen,
primaries
nah,
100%.
because we not mature enough not to talk about the fella's grandma and his
you see, Ace
10
Newbold,
sweethearts
that's now you've
and
gone.
his dirty drawers.
No, but see, now you've
That's
gone.
where they went in the
Yeah,
F&M.
but listen, but they're doing that in the United States right now.
And I'm saying, how does that help?
No, here's what I'm saying to you. That what has to happen is that's where we come in again.
That's
okay?
where we come in.
Right. So here's what I'm saying. Take a constituency, anyone. There are tons of people within that constituency who live in that constituency who are fit for candidacy.
Right.
Okay. But right now, they just have to, there's no chance.
They don't
Why
have
not allow for the people in that constituency to hear them?
They can still do it.
Well, that's a primary.
No,
That's
each
a primary?
constituency has a constituency meeting.
And 15
every
people show
month.
up.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Get more involved?
They need to get involved.
They just need to get more
Why are you
involved.
fighting me? That's what I've been saying all along. I
No,
agree.
we don't
You
need a formal
system.
primary to do that.
No.
Get
Here-
involved.
That's
Just
why I
get
said I
involved.
want to explain, because you see, you took my
ahead.
position, you went in another
ahead.
direction.
Welcome to my world.
Okay? No,
Go ahead.
no,
Go ahead, Ed.
no.
Go
Don't
ahead.
be offended. Just
Explain.
go
No,
ahead.
I'm
Just go
trying to
ahead.
explain. I'm not saying that you have to have this legislated primary system if you were thinking what I meant by that as a formal system. I'm talking about the concept. Right now, we do not get engaged because the party leader, the candidates committee, select the candidate. And why are
On
they
the recommendation of the
of the
constituent.
15 people in the constituency who
Yeah,
get
well,
involved?
I can't say what I want to say
Right.
to describe the people in the constituencies.
right.
Get out and be a part of the association.
So what I'm trying to explain to you, Mr. Newbold, is that what we've been saying, I'm not saying anything different from you. I've been condemning that same scenario, that what we need is for people to get involved in their constituency, and the net result will be sort of a primary. I'm not talking about, do you understand what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
why I
I got
asked you if you
you.
understood. Now you got it. Now you're Mr. Johnson, now you got it. Okay?
Listen. If there's anything, we have to figure out a way to get people more
Engaged.
interested enough to be engaged.
Right.
Because that's what it is. We talk about it, and you hear. I saw the newspapers today, and I talked to several different people about it, about who's being nominated, where, and whatever. My understanding is about what's going on in the F&M. One of the things that's going on there is that the leader don't determine. He has some influence, but he's going to go on the recommendations of the people in the constituency association. He can't throw Lightburn out. If the people in his constituency says to him, the leader and the council, we want Richard Lightburn as our candidate in 2017, we could make as much noise as we want on the outside. It's happening now. It can happen now. People just have to get engaged.
Right. Well, we're on the same page. I've been on the same page. That is the key, engagement. And when they get engaged, more people, they have more influence over the process. Right now, 15 people does not a constituency influence make.
Now it does. Especially no more would come out.
Especially if they're the cronies of the leadership.
Yeah, and everybody's a crony of somebody, especially in the Bahamas.
Hey, so let me ask you something, just piggybacking off of Lightborn.
Can you come back? Because
Are we on a break? Okay, let's take a break then. I'll be right back.
Sure.
I want to ask you Lightborn.
Ed Fields here along with Rogan Smith and Ace Newbold. Rogan's gonna ask a couple of questions of Ace, and then we can go to the Trump stuff.
Boy, Trump. I know how you want to get into
Just-
that.
he's a
that town hall,
nut.
that meeting last night.
Yeah.
But I wanted, because we were
Rich
talking
nut.
about Richard Lightborn. You saying, if the folks in his
Constituency
constituency
association.
want him to remain, there's going to be very little that Minnis is going to be able to do. But I want to know, do you think he should have been ruled out? The constituency association should have ruled him out based on his comments, his controversial comments a few weeks ago regarding the tube tying of Bahamian women.
It depends on how the constituency association feels about this man who said that, and they know him better than me or you. And I'm gonna give you another scenario about a situation where the Bahamas appeared or said it was outraged.
Okay.
Minister of Labor was pilloried, man, here and internationally. Said, what's he doing with Anna Nicole and blah, 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 and he fast-tracking his citizenship.
Right.
People of Golden Gates, man, say Shane is our guy. They gave him, he beat whoever,
Yeah.
probably,
And the
an
Progressive
extra
Liberal Party
300 or
lost.
400. The Progressive Liberal Party lost.
Right.
The people who voted for Shane Gibson
Right.
voted for him.
Right. So here's the issue.
And so my point
yeah,
is,
yeah.
go ahead. What's
Yeah.
the issue? My point is, you leave it up to the people who
Right.
he is
Yeah.
supposed to represent.
But here's this is just the observation. The government of the Bahamas is formed from those whoever wins the most seats.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
This is the question. This is just a simple question. If you have a scenario, so let's move it away. I always want to move it away from the thing so that you can judge it more calmly, right? You have someone get up and say something just way off, okay? And that something is able to be used by the national opposition to you as a clarion call to garner more votes, okay? Should that not be a concern?
Oh, of
Because
course
at the end of the day,
it
you're happy to have the people happy in that constituency, but if you lose the government,
it should always be a concern.
Right.
The party has said, the leader has said, and the party has said, listen, that's not our position. And whatever the permutations of his statement is, I didn't mean it that way. I meant this, and blah blah blah. The party has said that is not our position to tie off women.
Right.
Now, is he valuable enough to the party and his constituents, obviously,
and or detrimental? It's just a question. I'm not putting a position. I'm just saying this is the analysis they have to make.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is what they have to determine. And different people say different things, and yes, you have to determine how much is going to hurt or help you.
Someone made so this is a good segue. Rogan, did you have another follow-up for that? This is a good segue. Someone said, I think his name is Charles, I forget his name, a black journalist for the New York Times, I think his name is.
Blow.
You would have seen it. Blow? Blow. Why would I not remember that?
Hey,
name?
why would you not remember that?
Anyway, he said to a black supporter of Donald Trump, he said it on CNN. I'm paraphrasing him. Look, I cannot call you a racist, but I feel that Donald Trump is a racist, that Donald Trump has exhibited these things, that Donald Trump has said these things, that Donald Trump blah blah blah. And so what am I supposed to think of you who support Donald Trump? So it's a quandary, I guess. But you're, as a black person, he's not allowed people to live in his housing or is discriminated against people in his housing. Tell me your position on that. He's saying about the immigration scenario. Tell me your position on that. He's viewed as a misogynist. Tell me your position on that. If I got 8 things, are you saying that because he's got one thing that you like, it's okay to do those other 7 things? So this is this is how I segue. Because that's what'll happen, right? If he said that, what does it say that you would want him? This is the opposition, not making a judgment on it. Because they don't care. When they get into the campaigning, they don't care about you said digging down deep and all that. They just gonna make a commercial, man. That's all.
That is true. Listen,
this is what it is.
Somebody had a different take on that, and they said one of the reasons that Richard Lightburn has taken so much heat is because he's a white man.
Yeah.
Because if
There's
a,
no doubt
but
about
a
it.
black
But
man had
that's
said
the
that.
thing.
There's no doubt about it.
black
I
man
look
had
at
said that.
Yeah, Leslie Miller, for example. I know you would like to move away from personalities, but Leslie Miller has said some very
We compete-
outrageous,
yeah.
outlandish things over the years, over his career, and people excuse it. If Richard Lightbourne had made similar pronouncements, or Brent Simonet, it would have been held to pay in this
true.
country.
But
Well-
do we? You talked
We all
about
have a different
maturity, right?
standard.
You talked about maturity. When the commercial come, are we mature enough to pass through that? That's what I'm saying. Anyway, I want
we're
shift,
not.
I want to shift through to the Trumpster, man. You got to give him 10 minutes.
Yeah, go ahead, man. I
Look,
don't know why
man,
you want to
look,
talk about
look,
Trump.
because it's entertaining.
Listen, it's entertaining. And you know what? If he wins, it's not the end of the world.
I agree with you,
Trump
Ace.
is not
No, it's
going
the
to
end of the
blow
world.
No, it's
himself
not.
up.
No, it's
It's
not.
the end of
No,
the
it's
world.
not. No, it's not. And I've already had that thought too.
No, you
know,
only
hey.
try to just to go through your mind and not panic. I'm in a
No,
panic.
I'm not going to panic either
It's
way.
not the end of the world.
It's not going to be the end
Trump,
of the world.
You think Trump is stupid? He's not stupid.
No, let me tell you what I think he is, nuts. So, okay? Listen.
I'm sad you guys didn't see it last night with Matt Lauer, so you could hear his responses or his lack of responses.
I know for sure.
To
This is
the
what I know.
questions.
This is what I know. That the press, whatever gobble he come up with, they can put that before me. I get to see the good stuff.
Yeah.
Like when he said that the generals are what reduced to rubble,
Yeah.
Yes.
or when he says they can take the oil.
Yeah, you're just gonna take it. He makes some silly pronouncements, and I get frustrated when I don't see the reporter kind of like following up on it or hammering him. I feel like they hammered Hillary. Matt Lauer probably hammered Hillary a little bit more than she did with Trump last night. And just
They're, like,
listening to
afraid
his
of him.
response, yeah, they're afraid of him
But
because he's got
why
that
is it? Let me ask you a question.
brash
They keep
demeanor.
on saying to me, and I'm saying this publicly. I could care less. They say Hillary's a crook. Yet, what is she a crook about? What is she done?
Yeah, qualify that.
I would like to know.
No, I'm
tell
saying,
me. No,
you
I
know?
mean I'm saying that
Yeah.
to the radio people. Please tell me
Highlight.
the things that she's been what do you call it? Indicted on, charged with, convicted of. What is it that? What are the items? What are the?
That made her
Right now, all we
qualified
talking about is
for-
this email.
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, my boy, he bankrupted people.
Trump University.
He got what the thing is.
That-
They said
that
just the other
horrible-
day he got the blonde woman who's the attorney general. Right, he was getting sued by the attorney general of Florida. He gave her a $25,000 donation. The next couple of weeks, there ain't no more trial. Now, could you imagine? No, just tax returns. Someone said the other day. Could you imagine if Hillary Clinton had said, "I'm not handing in my tax returns"? What the Trumpster would have said about that? About crooked Hillary?
Well, what the public would have said about that. So not only does the press, the public.
And
public
apparently
gives
the
him
Trump saying pay no taxes.
The public gives him a pass,
Why?
which is I don't know why, but the public gives him a pass, and we can go into
I think
it.
it's probably, you know what it is, and this is what's going to happen even in this election. It's, by the way, people might think, why are we talking about that election? In my view, there's a lot of similarities, right? Because people are tired of the same old. That's all.
I think if there's any one thing that you can put your finger on, that's what it is.
They're tired.
Yeah.
They refer to it as the establishment,
Yeah.
but they're saying to themselves, "Geez, only Clintons and Bushes could be the president."
Yeah.
That's what they're thinking. I mean, and then let's not discount the real emotional thing. And no one likes to say it, but you can say it here.
I like to say it.
What's his name? Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg
Michael, yeah.
said at a
Highlighted
lecture that
it.
was here recently, and I quote, that in America, between the ages of 25 and 55, I think it was, if I got the range wrong, I'm sorry, the highest rate of suicide, depression, and drug use is amongst
males.
white males in that age group.
Okay.
And these are Michael Bloomberg's words, I'm quoting him, and that there's no end in sight.
Okay.
And what that means is, by the way, did you see the guy who talked about the taco truck? We can talk about that in a second. By the way, what that means is, okay, that the population shift, the demographic shift is happening at such a rapid pace
Yes.
that literally, and we said, I think we referred to it here, that literally what we knew as the demographic that existed in the United States will be no more.
It's really, it's nearly there right now. It's the Browning of America.
And
they
I
call
think
it.
what's his name? Michelle Bachmann. You know that woman?
Yeah, I remember
The
her.
crazy woman.
I remember
You know what she
her.
said? If we don't win this one, it's
all over.
You say this the last one. Okay, that is not a comfort zone, and so I think that a lot of people are saying that we talked about it. When Erica was saying about teams, they're thinking my team
Yeah.
is losing.
That's what it's going to come down
Yeah.
to.
Well,
I got to pull out all the stops for my
team.
yeah. Well,
Okay,
whomever's
They gonna
pulling
vote,
for
that's what's
Hillary
gonna happen.
will have to
all the
hope
teams
that,
coming out full force, Jack.
We'll have to hope that more brown people comes out and vote for her.
Well, yeah,
which
but
I think will be the
But she's
difference.
also got the women. She's got the college the college educated women. I just find it scary because I guess I think of I'm being very selfish. I believe that your boy could wake up one day and say we ain't giving the Bahamas visas no more. I feel that he could do that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not,
you're not empathetic. Yes.
I'm saying, hold on, if
You know
that
what I
happens,
mean?
what
You
can
know
I
what I mean?
do? I know what you're trying
Yeah,
to do.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying,
but
what
can I
you
do? Yeah.
What can you do?
No, I can't. That's what I can do is just hope that he will don't win.
What can you do?
That's why I'm screaming. That's why you said it wouldn't be the end of the world.
that
Yes,
means-
I
that
can't go to
means-
show.
that means the world, you don't have a visa.
won't be the end of
You
the
gotta
world.
go to bed.
and I
Listen,
don't,
There
I
are
don't
other
think he
countries
would
in the
do
world,
it.
you know.
Let me tell you something.
The other countries in the world, you know.
Yeah, but they don't have. They don't have.
They don't have
Outback.
Walmart.
No, they don't have. What do they say? Charlie's Crabs.
Go
They got-
to Canada. They have
They have
Walmart.
Charlie's Crabs.
I didn't check it out when I was there.
I don't know. No, but
Chinese crabs.
it won't be the end of the world.
Yeah.
What you should worry about is
Well,
come back here
by the
for
way-
elections here.
By the way, Ace.
Which
By the way,
direction?
Ace.
Uh-huh.
It might be the end of the world if he decides to push for a nuclear weapon.
True. Yeah.
Because he say everyone should have a nuclear bomb. Anyway, no. Coming back to the
Yeah.
bombers. Listen, I think that one of the things, and I ask you to comment on this. Do we overcomplicate this? Do we create the direness that we are feeling because we are just so? I mean, there's real pain. Don't get me wrong.
There's real
pain. But do we allow that pain? You know, when Rogan gives me this good book called, The Motivation Manifesto, and do we allow that pain to overwhelm us to such an extent that we can't get our way out, that we can't, figure a way out?
I don't think we're overwhelmed by it. I think there are a lot of good things happening as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't believe that the majority of Bahamians understand the real deep hole we're in many instances.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't get into things like that,
Mm-hmm.
Could I go buy, 99-cent breakfast or whatever it costs now? I got some.
I think it's like $3 now for 99. I don't think I
It's
see
$3?
I don't think I see a 99 cents
It's
spot.
not anymore, right?
I think that was the introductory price.
Yeah. Can I go get,
What happened to Rogan?
I go get a crack conch, and,
You get fired conch. Yeah.
We don't get, I think we need to listen. And again, I know we got to go. We come back again to the responsibility and the job of journalists and people who have the good fortune of having microphones at their disposal.
Yeah.
Explain what it is we're living in.
But as a part of that explanation, and we spoke to this last week, Rogan, or earlier, what are we, Thursday thing? We spoke to this about the element of the positive. Do we just, and I don't want to overdo that, but do we, this is where I come up with the overwhelming. Do we harp so much on the bad stuff that we don't allow a space between the bad stuff and the good stuff, a space to go into where we could maneuver more bad stuff into the good stuff?
Not enough space for the good stuff.
Yeah.
And I just think we need to make a conscious effort to do that.
Yeah.
Encourage people to feel good about themselves and the possibilities, despite whatever's going on.
By the way, your girl nominating someone, right? But we can't say no. We're not going to say who. You can't. Are we
Nominating
doing? Do we have to send? Who nominates pieces and works? Is it other people?
Whomever you want.
She can nominate herself, right?
Oh, yeah,
If you want to send your own stuff in, that's
Yeah,
fine.
you can send your own stuff
You
in.
have until October 15th.
Did you tell
Yes.
Charisma to send her stuff in?
I'm sure she knows.
Somebody's
Did you
gonna
tell her
send
you
it.
Somebody
said
will.
that she?
I
you liked
did
her?
tell her.
I told her too,
Yeah,
yeah.
she told me she
Okay.
Yeah, I have to
spoke
get
with
a
you.
copy of the show for
Yeah,
her.
yeah. But no, you can submit your own work.
You told her big up?
Yeah, man.
Okay, good.
She was quite. She said it meant a lot to her.
Yes,
sweet.
yes.
All
Yeah.
right, so listen.
Oh no! But for the popular category, what are we doing? Going on Facebook? People go on Facebook.
Go to the Press Club's Facebook page, and you're going to see all the prompts right there to vote for
Your favorite talk
your
show.
favorite talk show.
Make sure you vote for Ed Fields
All
Live.
right?
No, I don't
Make sure
wanna
you
vote.
come down.
Yeah.
PJ Patterson going to
Hush
be
your
the
mouth.
keynote speaker.
You can get that one.
Former Jamaican Prime Minister PJ Patterson will be the keynote speaker.
Fantastic.
People need to come
That's
out.
big
That's gonna
stuff.
be. That's
Yeah.
a big draw.
Yeah.
Already half the tickets are sold, so you better,
just
you better
listen,
get your
y'all
tickets.
better get in touch with some
And
Press
you know
Club
why I said
people.
that? You think that was some silly marketing thing. It wasn't. You know why I said that? While we were sitting down in the meeting, I calculated all of the media homes. I say homes, houses, because each and every they buy a table, half the tickets gone.
Yes.
All right. We'll be right back.
No.
We'll be back on
Monday.
and I don't know who we'll be
You
back
must
with.
be back in a
All right.
second.
Thank you, Mr. Anthony Newbold. Thank you,
Andre
Rogan.
Rollins will be
Thank
on
you for
Monday.
having me.
Andre Rollins will
Dr.
be on
Andre Rollins
Monday.
will be on
so
Monday.
that'll be
He'll
interesting.
give you some political
Yeah,
stuff to
yeah,
talk about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right, we'll be
Love
right
it.
there. Yeah.
He's one of the 6.